Hey everyone. So if you've ever dipped your toes into the world of crypto and just felt completely overwhelmed, trust me, you are not alone. It's this huge, wild, always changing space that's packed with amazing opportunities, but also, let's be real, some serious hidden dangers. Today, we're going to break down how you can navigate all of it and do it safely and with confidence. Think of this as your map and compass for your own crypto adventures.
And the guidebook for our little expedition today, it's the manual called Basic Crypto Research Methods. We're going to pull out all the key insights from it to give you a really clear, actionable plan for your own research.
You know, I absolutely love this quote from the source material because it just hits the nail on the head. The crypto space is a jungle. It's super exciting, it's full of potential, but you wouldn't just wander into an actual jungle without a plan, right? Well, doing your own research, that's your plan. And that really is the million-dollar question, isn't it? Look, this isn't about finding some secret cheat code to get rich quick. It's all about building the skills to read the terrain, to spot the warning signs, and to make smart decisions for yourself. That's what turns you from a tourist into a real explorer. Okay, so every great expedition starts with a map. Before you even think about putting one foot forward, you've got to understand the world you're about to step into. So this first part is all about getting your bearings. Now, what I think is so cool about this slide is how it just simplifies the entire crypto universe. I mean, think about it. Blockchains, these massive networks like Ethereum or Solana, they're like continents. Each one has its own landscape, its own rules. The tokens, those are the landmarks on the map. Some are mountains of opportunity, others are hidden quicksand. And the communities, well, they're the people you meet along the way. So where do you get these maps? Well, these are your main sources. The white paper is number one. It's the official blueprint that tells you what a project is all about, why it even exists. The website gives you a vibe for how professional they are. And the roadmap, well, that tells you where they say they're going. A roadmap with clear, believable goals is a great sign. One with super vague promises, not so much. And this is absolutely crucial. You have to explore in two ways at once. There's fundamental research, that's you studying the map, looking at the project's official documents. But then there's community research. That's like talking to the locals, finding out what people are actually saying. You know, a project can look perfect on paper, but if the community is a ghost town or super toxic, that's a huge red flag. You need both perspectives, period. All right, so now you've got your maps. The next step is actually learning how to read them. This is where we go from just looking at the landscape to really interpreting the clues, the things that separate a good path from a total dead end. So when you're reading a white paper, you've got to put on your detective hat. Is the language actually clear, or is it just stuffed with a bunch of confusing buzzwords to sound smart? Are the tokenomics, which is really just the project's economy, how tokens are made and given out, are they explained clearly? If you see stuff like guaranteed returns or timelines that seem way too good to be true, yeah, that's when the alarm bells should be going off loud and clear. Now think of the project's team as your guides on this expedition. I mean, you wouldn't follow a total stranger into the jungle, would you? So look them up, check out their LinkedIn, see if they've actually built things before on sites like GitHub. Now, not every anonymous team is a scam, but let's be honest, it definitely increases the risk you're taking. And here's the best part. You don't have to just take their word for it. Why? Because the blockchain itself is like a giant open book. Every single transaction, every bit of code that runs, it's all out there for anyone to see. This on-chain data is like a trail of breadcrumbs you can follow to see if what they say they're doing matches up with what they're actually doing. Okay, you know the terrain and you know how to read the signs. Now, let's talk about getting the right tools to do the job right. This is your Digital Explorer's Kit. This table just lays it out so perfectly. You've got platforms like CoinGecko. Think of those as your telescope, letting you see the whole market from way up high. Then you've got your magnifying glass. That's an on-chain explorer like Etherscan. It lets you zoom way in on those breadcrumbs we were talking about. And your field notes? Well, that's what you're gathering from community hubs like Discord and X. So let's bring it all home. We've covered a ton of ground, I know, but these next few slides are the most important part. This is your survival guide, the absolute must-remember rules for every single expedition you go on. First up, and this is totally non-negotiable, understand the terrain. You have to know the ecosystem before you jump in. Second, use reliable maps. That means you've got to read those white papers with a healthy dose of skepticism. And third, always combine your research. What the map says and what the locals say,
They're both critical pieces of the puzzle.
Next, investigate your guides, the team. Their transparency means everything. Then, when you're checking out the community, look for patterns. One person hyping a project on Twitter is just noise. A long history of clear updates and a helpful community, that's a real signal. And finally, use your tools. The motto here is don't trust, verify. Check the on-chain data for yourself.
And to wrap up our survival guide, always assess your risk, which means never, ever relying on just one source of info. And here's a pro tip: document everything. Seriously, keep a research journal. It'll help you build your own map over time and learn from your wins and your losses. And maybe, most importantly, never stop learning. This jungle is always changing, and so you have to change with it.
So really, when you boil it all down, it comes to this. Research isn't just something you do once. It's a mindset. It's an ongoing process. With this framework, you're not just wandering around anymore. You're navigating. You've got a map, you've got a compass, and you've got a plan. You have what it takes to explore this new frontier safely and intelligently. So, every project is a new expedition. The only question is, are you ready to explore?